guess we'd all feel much better if you and your men would move into our bunkhouse. You'll be much more comfortable.
We do not want your hospitality. We are your prisoners.
Mariano, in a few days, we may be able to let you move your herd out. The anthrax may not spread.
This pasture of yours that is giving us the fever. There is a miasma here. Unless I can move the cattle, they will all be dead.
Mariano, no one knows how anthrax starts. Sometimes it stops as mysteriously as it starts. Anyway, I won't allow him to shoot your cattle.
Thanks, gringo. That's what you want to hear, isn't it? I once thanked you a long time ago for a calf you gave me. Then again, I thank you for this wonderful pasture at 1 cent an acre. Let me tell you something, gringo. I was stealing that calf. I didn't find it. That's the only way to get anything from the gringos. The gringos run everything, and all we do is say, thank you, thank you. Thank you for the right to breathe, for the right to move about, for the right to eat, to sleep. One of us gets a chance to get up there where the gringos are, to earn a decent place in life. The gringos find a way to knock you down.
I guess I was wrong. Heath! Put all the men around this pasture. Don't let a single steer loose. Shoot anyone that tries to break out. Shoot to kill.
I thought I saw you coming. Dinner will be ready in 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Your mother says she wants everyone at the dinner table, right on time.
I'll be ready. Silas? Where's Nick?
He's upstairs in his room.
Thank you.
Don't worry. Everything's going to be all right. I've seen anthrax come one day and disappear the next.
I've seen it when it hasn't.
Nick told me what happened this afternoon.
Yeah,
It's just horrible that it had to happen to Mariano. That hurt means so much to him.
I know.
He drove them over 1,000 miles, all the way from Mexico. All his dreams are wrapped up in them. Everything he wants to be.
Look, I know all about that. And I know if he loses that herd, he'll be right back to what he used to be. Now, is there anything else you want to tell me that I already know?
No, I guess not.
I'm sorry, Audrey, I didn't mean it.
Silas, better make sure there's plenty of coffee tonight. I think we'll be doing a lot of talking.
I'll make sure.
Yeah?
Can I come in?
You're in. Anything wrong?
You know what's wrong.
Get to the point.
Nick, those cattle have to be shot. That's the way it's always done. That's the only way to do it.
I've given my orders.
I know you have. I passed it on to the men. But now, if you just let me say what I got to say, then I'll shut up. I can understand you're wanting to help Mariano.
You know, I knew Mariano a year before he was allowed to talk to me. He was was 10 years old, so was I. He used to sit in the corner in my old clothes and watch his mother scrub these floors. Every day she came to clean the Barclay Palacio. When Mariano opened his mouth, she'd say, "Don't bother the senores." Well, finally, he was allowed to play with us a little bit. That is, as if he was respectful and called me Senor Nick. 2 10-year-old boys. Senor Nick. Do you know what that herd means to him? Do you? What if it was yours? Wouldn't you lie for it, steal for it, even kill for it?
I'm sorry, Nick. Like Mariano said, my brother's a good man.
Whether they brought it up from Mexico or caught it from some kind of miasma in our pasture doesn't really matter, does it? Either way, we can't let Mariano move his herd without risking an outbreak of anthrax among our own. Just like the one we had 5 years ago. How many head did we lose that time, Nick?
Close to 3,000.
As I see it, we only have 2 choices. Killing Mariano's cattle, which is the traditional way of handling the problem, or keeping them contained in the pasture until they die by themselves.
They're both so drastic. Isn't there something else?
Has anyone ever heard of vaccination?
Of what?
Vaccination.
Mm-mm.
It's a new technique they're experimenting with at school. It was developed by a Frenchman, Professor Pasteur. It's a new cure for anthrax.
Yes, I've heard of Pasteur and his theories.
Anything to it?
I don't know. Most reputable scientists seem to think it's all a lot of nonsense. At any rate, it's still just experimental.
But it works. I've seen it. Professor Hawthorne at school is experimenting with Pasteur's methods. He injects some of the anthrax germs into healthy cattle.
Germs?
Yeah. They're tiny organisms visible only under a microscope. Pasteur says they cause anthrax and a lot of other things, too.
And you can't see him, huh?
No.
No.
Something like elves and fairies.
I've seen it work.
Gene, I'm sorry.
Heath. Jean, dear, don't be angry with them. If they seem intolerant, it's just because they're not used to feeling helpless.
Don't worry, Mother. I'm not angry with him. I'm going back to the university tonight. There's a train leaving for Berkeley in about an hour.
So all of Mariano's cattle will have to die, one by one by one.
Take your men and leave us alone!
Mariano! We don't want anybody killed. Now be sensible.
You be sensible. We're taking our cattle out of here. ¡Móntense, muchachos!
Mariano! We don't want anybody killed. But if you force it, we'll kill.
Caporal, let's give up. We will not give up. We'll fight to the end. ¡Adelante, muchachos! ¡No tengo miedo! ¡Lo llevo como los hombres!
hear what he said?
Yeah, I heard what he said. He's gonna die fighting for less than 90 scraggly steers.
Mother!
Gene,
Professor Hawthorne? My mother, Mrs. Barker.
how do you do? How on earth
I
did...
got to Berkeley at 4 this morning. I persuaded the professor to come
4
with me.
o'clock? Oh, good heavens, you must be tired. I'll get you some coffee.
Oh, it's all right, Mrs. Barkley. Eugene seemed to feel it was urgent.
Mother, Professor Hawthorne has a cure for anthrax. Right there.
It can work.
Can?
If the disease isn't too far advanced in the animals, it will work. Massive doses have cured anthrax before. I've seen it happen.
Is it safe?
As I see it, Mrs. Barkley, you have nothing to lose by letting me vaccinate those animals. And everything to gain.
Mother, Professor Hawthorne has worked directly with Professor Pasteur. Have faith in him. Have faith in me.
Follow me, please.